Hello, Gladys. It shows that there's 4 waiting. You hear me, Gladys? Or are you still there? Well, thank you. Where is everybody? Shows there's 4 waiting. I was hoping to have a good crowd in here tonight. Have to have a good crowd to do the giveaway. I don't know. There's Georgia Rainey. Hello, Georgia. How are you? There's Ashley. Hi, Ashley. And there's Susan Proctor. Hello. I hope all of you are having a good evening. I'm a little tired, but I feel pretty good. There's Connie Jones. Deborah Johnson. Well, hello, Deborah and Connie. Yes, ma'am, farm wife. I ate that fish. I fried it last night, had some for supper, and then today I had the rest of it for lunch. So it was really good. It's the first catfish I've had in quite a while. And the first that I've eaten that I've caught myself. I ate the fish. Gladys says, what's happened to the fish? I ate it. It was good. I fixed some coleslaw and French fries to go with it. It was pretty good. Yeah, I did it for a long time, and I finally said, I'm going fishing and, just get out of the house and do something other than cooking or cleaning or doing in the garden. So it did me good to get out. I'll go again because it was nice out there on that pier. I mean, it was not really hot. The sun was kind of intense, but the wind was blowing. So that helped keep you cool. I did make a video, Gladys. Where were you? There's a video that I posted on going fishing. You're going to have to find it and watch it. Why didn't I make a video? I made a video. Well, thank you, Connie. Bug catfish. It is a beautiful area. It's out here on the lake. This is a man-made lake. It was made on the Brazos River. Well, hi, Michelle Worrell. How are you doing this evening? Yeah, Gladys, you're going to have to find my video that I posted on going fishing where I caught 3 fish. It was a lot of fun. It was just a couple of days ago. That's funny. Why didn't you make a video? You don't think I would go fishing if I didn't make a video, do you? Anna Watson said she watched me fish. It was fun. It was fun for me, especially when I started catching fish. I didn't think I was going to catch anything but that old turtle because something kept biting my hook. And I went over there to pull it up. A turtle followed the bait up to the top of the water, and I could see the turtle. He was about that big around. But evidently he left it alone because I got those fish right after that. And I forgot to let me go get my tablet. I knew I was going to forget something. I didn't message Bloomin', but I figured she knew that I would have one tonight. And she's active. So she's online, so hopefully she'll get that. Oh, you saw me cooking it. Well, that wasn't the video, though. I showed a picture of me cooking it. But the video was of me actually catching it when I was fishing. So you need to go back and find that video. Hopefully Bloomin' will see my message and get in chat with us. Well, thank you. It's a little big, but I think the last couple of tops I ordered online were too big, but I kept them and started wearing them anyway. I said if I throw them in the dryer very much, they're probably going to shrink. You saw it? Okay. If you saw the video where me fishing, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah, and I did cook the fish. That was that picture of me cooking them. There was 2 big catfish that I saved. I threw the little one back, and they made a frying pan full of fish. Oh, Bloomin' went to the doctor. Oh, you don't want to see me cleaning no catfish. Catfish are hard to clean. You have to pull the skin off of them. Oh, it's terrible. I have to take a pair of pliers to pull the skin off before I can fillet them or cut them apart or cut them in half or do anything with them. Believe me, you don't want to see cleaning catfish. So what's everybody been up to today other than watching videos? Have you ever cleaned any fish, Georgia Rainey? There's Dolores Johnson. Hello. Yeah, I love catfish. Of course, I love all fish. I love catfish. I love stripers. I mean, I love the mud chubs, the big ones. They're good fish, even though some people don't even keep them. And if I'm on the ocean, I like flounder. We used to catch flounder, stripers, all kind of fish in our gill net when we threw it out in the ocean when we lived on Oak Island. I know, Gladys, you've been waiting for this. I didn't make a cooking video of the fish. I just took a picture of it. And I think I posted it on Facebook. No, catfish are not oily. They're just like any other fish, like a bass or striper or any of the other fish. They're not oily at all. And their meat is really white. No, I didn't make a short. I just took a picture and posted it on Facebook. I might try to make a short, though. I don't know if I can find any of the pictures I took. I may have deleted all of them. Right, Gladys, you don't have Facebook. I hope Blooming's okay. She's been down so much here lately. Never ate catfish, Michelle? If you go to a seafood restaurant very much and eat fish, you may have eaten it and didn't know you were eating it. If you got fried fish. Connie says, I just got home from work. You got a new phone and haven't signed up for Facebook? I keep up with a lot of people on Facebook, family members, friends. She starts rehab tomorrow, Gladys. They're keeping her in the hospital. She'll go through rehab in the hospital. Oh, let me see. I got it on top chat. Let me see if I can change it. Now you should be able to see all of the chats. I've got it on live chat. It was set on top chat, and I didn't realize it. Is that better? You do not want to see me clean a catfish. It's like being in a fight. I'm not a very strong person, and it's hard for me to hold those things and pull that skin off of them, because that's the only way I'll clean them, is to pull that skin off. Now, if they're a really big one, I won't pull the skin off. I'll just cut a fillet out of it, and then I'll run that fillet knife right down the bottom of that fillet and take the skin off that way. But the ones the size of the ones I had, it's better just to skin them. That way you're not losing a lot of the meat. Georgia Rainey says I don't have Facebook. I might let you see me cleaning fish, but not a catfish. Not unless it's a gigantic one that I can just cut some really big fillets out of. I love catfish. But I love all the fish. I'm not choosy, really. Wanted to see me do it, huh? Where's all my people? Where's Trisha? Where's Lisa? Where's Living Life Loving? Where's all my people? They're not showing up tonight. Peter Vare. Hi, farm wife. I fished for catfish when my grandfather took us camping when I was little and cooked them. They are very good eating. Yeah, they are good. I used to go with my parents down to the river. This was when I was probably eight, 8 years old, somewhere along in there. And my grandparents would be down there. My aunts and uncles would all be down there. My cousins. And we'd spend all morning fishing. And then we'd all clean those fish and fry them right on the lake of the riverbank. And all my aunts and my grandmother would bring food that they had cooked, like potato salad, coleslaw, cornbread, you name it, cake. And we'd have a fish fry right on the riverbank. And it was a lot of fun. There's Tricia. I was wondering where you were. There's Mardell. How are you doing tonight, Tricia and Mardell? Just got home from Wally World, Mardell says. Hope you bought something good. I went to Wally World yesterday and picked up a couple of things that I needed. I think I just picked up Bear aspirin and some Zyrtec, I think, for allergies. It was a light shopping trip. I didn't get much at all. Tricia says, I'm a doing. That's the way I feel about it. I'm a doing. I'm going to be doing till, as long as I can. Too much Christmas stuff in there. I know they haven't gotten over Halloween or Thanksgiving yet, and there's Christmas everywhere. I mean, I guess they think seeing all of the seasons, holidays together will get you in the spirit. But, I mean, I go from one section to the store that's Halloween. Then you start going over toward Christmas and you run through Thanksgiving and then you get to Christmas. It's kind of crazy. I haven't been down to Lowe's yet. I wanted to see what they have because they usually put a big tent up. And I've always, for Christmas, it's a Christmas tent. And I've always wondered what they had in there. If it was maybe like live Christmas trees, or what did they actually have in that Christmas tent? Even when I worked there, I never went in that tent, so I don't know what they put in it. I know. They should wait and get over Halloween, put Thanksgiving stuff up, and then get that out of the way, and then put Christmas up. Connie says she's going to retire in March. Well, good for you. Yeah, a lot of people wait till the end of the Christmas season when all the wrapping paper and the decorations and all that stuff go on sale, because usually you can get it dirt cheap and just stock up on it for the next year, and then they don't have to buy any of that stuff for the next Christmas, and they've saved a lot of money. Georgia says fish fry and hush puppies. I fixed a little bit of cornbread. I didn't fix hush puppies. But they were about the same thing. And there's Derek. Hey, Derek, how are you? Mardell says, went to Goodwill and got beautiful, beautiful Elvis book and illustrated biography. I bet that was pretty. I remember saying when I was like 12 years old that Elvis was the king and nobody would ever take his place, Nobody ever has either. I mean, there's some good artists out there, but they're not Elvis. There's going to only be one and one only Elvis. A lot of people can get up there and imitate him, but they're not Elvis. You know, this is the craziest cat I've ever seen in my life. I tried to give him a piece of fish. He basically turned his nose up at it. It's like, I don't want that stuff. He'll eat his canned cat food and he'll eat the dry food that I give him and mix in with it. But when it comes to cooked chicken off the table, fish from the table, or any other kind of meat, he's basically not interested. Mardell, Elvis Presley loves you. Linda, the last chat I can see is from Gladys to Mardell. Yeah, you should be able to see one from Derek now, farm wife. They're coming in kind of slow because I've only got 27 people. And there's Connie. Gladys, I have a fracture in my left leg from falling in the shower. I am using my grandma's wheelchair just so it heals a little before I go back to my walker. Oh my goodness, Connie. That's terrible. There's April. Hi, April. Glad you can make it. Peace and love to you too, April. I wish I could get my chat closer to the camera, but it's not really cooperating with me. Yeah, Connie, I didn't realize that. Fracture in your left leg from falling. You have to be careful. And you fell in the shower. Oh my goodness. You're lucky you didn't hit your head and gave yourself a concussion or something. Thank you, Mardell. It feels good when I have it up and get it away from my face. Yeah, I hope she feels better real soon. There's Dolores. We're getting a few people in here. Linda, love your... I'm not sure I understand. I love Buddy. Linda, now I can see the chat. I had to go to the live chat on my phone. Never had to do that before. Huh. That's kind of weird. I'm looking at the live chat on my laptop. I mean, it's on the camera up here, but you know, you can be reading it sometimes and the chat will fade away. So you only get to read about half of it before it's gone. Then you got to wait for it to come back. So I just brought everything up on my laptop here. That's the reason I keep kind of looking away from the camera, is because I'm looking at the chat down here. There was 2 Elvises, but one died. Yeah, I know he had a twin brother, but that doesn't mean he would have been an Elvis. Connie says, I've had several fractures over the years. I have degenerative bone and degenerative joint disease. Oh my goodness. I remember you telling us that one time before. I didn't know that about Elvis. Yeah, he had a twin brother, I think, but his brother died, I guess, at birth. So it was only the one Elvis growed up because his brother died when they were born. And he's buried up there at Graceland where Elvis and the rest of them are buried. Yeah. But you know what? I don't know if the world could have handled two Elvises. I mean, could you imagine two identical Elvises up there? I mean, people would have to like take a double take to make sure they're seeing right. They would have thought they were seeing vision. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that too. I wish her the best and a speedy recovery, that's for sure. My sister in law starts her rehab tomorrow, but they're keeping her in the hospital to do the rehab. They're not letting her go home. Oh my goodness, Connie. I use a bath mat in my tub when I'm standing up taking a shower because I know how slippery that porcelain gets when it gets wet and soapy. But it's got suction cups on the bottom of the mat. So there's no way that thing can slip. Maybe you need to get you one like I've got. It's got little suction cups all along the whole bottom of the bath mat. And it actually sticks to the tub. It will not slide. You have to literally pull it loose. You need one like that, and then you don't have to worry about it sliding on you. Well, my brother hasn't really mentioned. He just said she was doing good, and they were going to keep her in the hospital and do rehab in the hospital, and then they'll see how the rehab goes before they ever will send her home. And they don't know how long the rehab's going to be. It just depends on how she does in rehab. I have used a bath chair, can't stand too long. Oh, okay. I know my mom had gotten to the place where she had a bath chair in her tub, and she'd get in there and sit down and then use the sprayer to, that you can pull down and spray instead of stand up and take a shower. Well, thank you, Deborah. She'll appreciate that. That's for sure. We all are going to be going through a lot of this stuff. If you haven't already, you will be. Old age shows no, and it doesn't discriminate against sex either. Have Lisa in chat with us. Yeah, that's one reason I get out and I do stuff in the garden. I enjoy working in the garden, even though it's sometimes can be a dirty job. I enjoy doing it. It gets me out of the house, gets me in the yard, and gets me moving. And then, like I said, I mow my own yard, my grass, and I don't have a riding mower. I can't use a riding mower out here, so I use a push mower. Well, that's all of us, Mardell. One of these days, we're all not going to be able to get up. I saw a movie with Elvis and he has a blonde twin. No, I don't think his twin was blonde. I don't think anybody in that family was blonde. Get a pony to mow the lawn. I could get a goat and turn him, just fence him in the yard and just turn him loose. He'd keep it mowed. But we can't have goats out here. One of my neighbors about a street away, she had a goat one time and she knew she was not supposed to have a goat, but she kept him in a pen. Well, the goat got out one day and he come down the street and he went to one of the neighbors and started eating all of her flowers. Yeah, cows and all of that can eat poison ivy too, and it doesn't hurt them. But can you imagine what that woman thought when she saw that goat was in the yard eating all her flowers? Oh my God. The same way I felt when I woke up one Sunday morning and I had 5 cows in my backyard, in my garden, eating everything. And I called the cops because I didn't know whose cows they were. And they said, well, the cows got hungry. I said, I guess so. We can have chickens and one rooster. I think it's like 12 chickens and one rooster at a time. But all my neighbors have chickens and roosters, and you can hear roosters crowing all around my house, which I don't mind it. It kind of reminds me of being back home hearing the roosters crow. We can't have pigs here either. You can't have any farm animals. You can have rabbits if you got them in a cage, and you can have, like I said, 12 chickens and one rooster. But that's fine as long as the neighborhood is not heavily populated. But as small as these lots are, if every single property owner had 12 chickens and a rooster, it would sound worse than a farm. Everybody would be hearing chickens and roosters. No, old age is not for wimps, I'll tell you that. Yeah, we can't have any farm animals except for the chickens and the rabbits if you have them in a cage. I kind of thought one time I'd like to have some rabbits, but I know they multiply so fast. And then I said, the ants are so bad out here. I was afraid that the ants would eat the rabbits. I mean, they're terrible. I mean, that's bad when you live in an area where you don't want to have a rabbit because you're afraid the ants will eat your rabbit. Fire ants. Yes, ma'am, fire ants. And those things hurt. No, I'm going to give a little more time for people to get in chat, and then I'm going to do the giveaway. Georgia, it was kissing cousins. Buddy don't like a goat. I have a lot of animals. Amelia, hello. And Sophia, I just noticed that you were in chat. How are you this evening? I know. Oh my God. I don't know that I could afford chickens or rabbits. I wouldn't be able to afford the feed. Well, good, Sophia. You don't have fire ants where you're at? Where do you live, farm wife? I don't remember us having fire ants in North Carolina where I lived, where my parents lived. There was ants, but you could go in the yard and walk around barefoot and not worry about ants getting on you. But they're terrible out here. North Central Illinois. Yeah, I say I'm North Central Texas. And it used to be desert here, and it's a rock mountain. And the ants love rocks. They just go down in between them and make tunnels. And oh, it's just awful here. I'm forever usually buying the great big bags of ant granules and just throwing them out by the handfuls all over my yard, around my house. Amelia says she has fire ants. Yeah, they're not fun to have. That's one reason I wear boots out there when I'm walking around the yard now. When I'm doing my garden tour or working in the garden, doing anything, I have my boots on. And usually I don't get bit because they don't travel up my boots and get to my feet. It's loud. I worked in a chicken plant. Oh, good. I can't imagine working in a chicken plant. Oh, really, April? They came up and they're growing good? Well, good. You're going to have plenty. Were those the moonflowers I think that I sent you? If they were, you're going to have all the moonflower seeds you will possibly ever want. Because everywhere one has a flower will turn into one of those little round balls. And it looks like it's got little spikes all over it. And you just leave it there till it turns kind of brownish tan. It dries. It'll start to split open. And when it starts to split open, that's when you need to cut it off and harvest your seed. If you don't, they're just going to drop wherever they are. Unless you want them to drop and spread on their own, which they will do. But if you want to get any to plant somewhere else, you need to harvest them. Right now is the time when the seeds are dropping. So you can plant them right now. Just remember where you planted them in case they don't come up right now, because they will come up in the spring if they don't come up right now. Oh, okay, the blue and pink clematis. Well, those are beautiful flowers. So you're going to love them. And they put out tons of seeds as well. Every place there's a flower on that clematis vine, when that flower dies, it's going to have a little bitty ball, not even as big as it's about the size of a pea. And it'll have usually four little seeds in it when it dries. And if you don't harvest those seeds wherever they drop on the ground, they're going to put out new plants. I was out there pulling up some the other day where they fell from the arbor and planted them in the pots that goes over the arbors on all three of the arbors I've got. I was trying to read this chat that Connie's put. Farm wife, he is so lazy, it is ridiculous. If I hadn't been married to him 33 years and known him for 47 years, I wouldn't put up with it. My daughter will help me keep the tub clean. Oh, yes, they do have seeds. Goodness. They do have seeds. In fact, the clematis that I've got, if I can quit coughing, I've got a cough drop in my mouth. I use my nasal spray. Everything I could think of before I started my life. So I would not cough, and here I am coughing. But yeah, I started my clematis from seed that I ordered online, and then I harvest the seed off of them every year. And it's impossible to get every single one of them. I harvest what I can, the rest will drop to the ground and put out new plants. Like after that last heavy rain we had, I had new clematis plants popping up out of the ground all over under that arbor. So, yeah, so if you'll harvest your seed after your flowers die, just keep noticing it and you'll see those little bitty round balls are about the size of a pea. They're not very big at all, but they'll turn tan, and you can pick them off and open that little ball, and it usually has 4 black seeds in it, or it's got 4 white seeds in it, and that lets you know that they're 2 different colors. But I don't remember which one's the blue, and which one's the pink. But I love to mix them up in my pots because I love to have 3 or 4 different kind of clematis growing up the trellis, because it's even prettier that way. Yeah, those flowers will love it at your place, April. In Hawaii, with your climate, they'll grow like crazy. Any of these plants that I grow here would just grow like crazy where April is. I don't think I'd have to worry about it getting too hot or too dry there. They will. They'll grow all over that fence and drop seed and put out more plants, and then they'll grow up on that fence. It'll be pretty. It's been very dry there. Hmm. I don't have candy to give away, Gladys. You live where it rains a lot, April? Well, I figure you did. I don't have candy to give away. I don't know where Gladys got that from. I got a bag of candy in some stuff that came from me, but it's like little pieces. It's not like individual bags or anything. Dolores, that's okay. It's been said and spelled many ways. Oh, your name. Yeah, it's little trick-or-treat candy. It's little bitty individually wrapped candies that you give to trick-or-treaters. And I've just got one bag of it. I mean, it's not stuff that you would try to mail individually. It's still hot in Vegas. You can't go outside. I didn't realize that. I figured since it cooled off a little here, it would have cooled off in Vegas too. There's Peter. How are you doing this evening, Peter? I didn't come up with a question for my giveaway. I'm going to have to look. I usually try to have a small bag here just in case. But it's got to the place around this area that parents don't let their kids go door to door trick or treating anymore. They usually take them, they print in the newspaper a route that goes through town to different stores that are participating that will let trick or treaters come in their store and they hand out candy there. So they've been going just store to store. They get the map out of the newspaper and then they take it with them whenever they go trick or treating. I'm looking to come up with some questions here. Yeah, they used to have carnivals at the school. They may still have that. I mean, they probably do at the school. They probably have dress up day with a carnival and little Halloween parties and stuff like that. But they used to have a haunted house. Oh, it scared me to go through it with my kids that year they had it. And the night that I walked through there, my son he wasn't very big. He was just in elementary school, and my daughter, of course, she's like 6 years older than him. She was holding on to me, and he was holding on to me. We started walking through there, and they started pulling me and grabbing me, and, you know, it scared them to death in that haunted house. Give it a few more minutes. Maybe we'll get a few more people in. I don't want to leave anybody out on this giveaway. Trunk or treat is where you park and kids go around and get candy from car to car. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know if they have that here or not, but I have heard about trunk or treat. Yeah, that's what they do here. Like I said, they print a map in the newspaper of a map of all the stores in the area that are participating in the trick or treat. So the kids get the map off of the newspaper and they take it with them and they go around to each store, check the store off, and go on to the next one. And they usually end up with quite a bit. But it got real bad here a few years ago where there was crazy people, insane people putting razor blades in candy bars and razor blades in apples and X-Lax and fudge and all this kind of stuff, and then giving it to these kids. So they got to the place where they just don't want to take kids door to door trick-or-treating, not unless it's a relative or someone that you trust are not going to give your kids candy with something in it that's going to hurt them. And that's bad, when you can't take kids trick-or-treating anymore. Mardell says, I can't afford to hand out candy in my neighborhood. I'd go broke. I hear that. Yeah, I haven't had trick-or-treaters come to my door to amount to anything in many years. But like I said, I like to keep just a little here just in case. Because I'd hate for some of them to come knocking on my door, cute in a costume, and me not have something to hand them, Yeah, I'm sure there's some closed-in neighborhoods around this area that do trick-or-treating because they know the people in the area, and it's a closed subdivision, so, crazies from outside are not coming in to do any harm to the kids, But the schools started going over big with the Halloween celebration. They'd have costume contests, all kind of stuff. Well, looks like we got one more come in. Who was it? I don't see it. They may be a silent watcher. Born on Halloween. Well, my granddaughter was born on Friday the 13th. I think that was bad enough. Well, it wasn't bad, but it was just a coincidence that my son always liked the Friday the 13th movies and all that stuff. And she was actually born on Friday the 13th that morning. Well, I put a pumpkin and a skeleton head that have lights inside in my window with a black screen behind it facing the street. So when you go down the street at night, all you see is this big pumpkin head and this skeleton head up there in the dark, you know. It's kind of weird. Oh my God, that was some way to repay you, Connie. Give all that candy out for all those years because you're being nice to the kids. And then because you ran out of candy, the teenagers vandalized your house. I don't blame you. I wouldn't hand out candy anymore. Now, I've heard of the kids out here, they wrap a house. They did some of the teachers that way one year. And what I mean is they take rolls of toilet paper and they just wrap it all over the house, you know, around their cars and the trees, the bushes. They just wrap everything up in toilet paper. And you know, when it gets wet, it makes a mess if you can't get it off before it ever gets wet. And usually out here, if they wrap it at night, by the next morning, it's going to be damp just from the dew, if nothing else, you know, even if it doesn't rain. I know it. It's got too expensive to wrap a house with. You're lucky if you can buy enough for your bathroom. You know, those were some very ungrateful kids to vandalize your house just because you ran out of candy. That's, yeah, it's terrible. Okay, I'm going to wait a few more minutes and then I'm going to do the question on the Little Buddy plaque giveaway. Said I made up Ziploc baggies full of candy and give them out to the little kids in the neighborhood. I will give them to their parents next week. Yeah, eggs are too expensive to throw. And I couldn't believe it. You know, I went to the store yesterday and I had used up all my eggs baking and cooking and everything else. So I just bought one 18 count carton of eggs. And I didn't notice the price. I figured it was going to be $3 or $4, you know. And I happened to notice when I rang them up at the register, they were $1.98 for 18 eggs, which that was cheap compared to what they have been being. Everything is too expensive. Oh my gosh. These prices are going to put people on diets whether they want to be on a diet or not, because you can't afford to buy the food. Let me turn off the notification on this. I always got something sound going off that I don't want going off. If it's not one of the phones ringing, it's something else. It's that I didn't set my notification off. Yeah, I got to. That's for darn sure. And the question that I'm going to be asking has to do with my videos. So if you watched my videos, you'll be able to answer it. Yeah, that was real cheap, I thought. I thought to myself, well, did they make a mistake? Well, we got a few more in here, so 4 or 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to ask the question and do the giveaway. That should give people plenty enough time to get in here. It's hard for me to type fast. Do you have voice recognition on your phone or whatever you use to watch videos on? Oh, my nose is itching. I have voice recognition on my phone, but I never use it. I usually keep it turned off. Yeah, I kind of do. I like using self checkout. Something is tickling my nose. Oh. Well, it's not a big deal with fruit. I mean, you can just put it on there and weigh it. If you don't have a little barcode or number on it, you can look it up on the screen and it'll tell you how much it is. You just have to take a few more minutes to do it. That's all. Well, there's Lori and Johnny. Hello. I think we lost one. It was up to 32 just a second ago. It's dropped to 31, but I'll give it 3 more minutes. Like when it turns like 8 o'clock, I'll be doing the giveaway. So if there's any silent watchers that want to get in on the giveaway, they need to get in chat. You use it, but sometimes it gets your words wrong. Yeah, that would be aggravating. Hi, Lori and Johnny. How are y'all this evening? I mean, it's a real easy question that I'm going to give. It has to do with one of my last videos. So if you watched one of my last couple of current videos, you should have no problem. And you're going to be getting this little buddy YouTube star plaque. I put YouTube star at the top, put his name at the bottom. I think it turned out pretty good. Well, good. You said you're great. Yes, ma'am, April. I ate fish for dinner last night, and then I ate the rest of it today. So I ate one fish last night and one fish today. And it's gone. So that fixed my urge for catfish for a little bit. But I'm still going to go fishing. Even if I catch fish and I clean it, fillet it or whatever, put it in the freezer. But I was craving some catfish. I hadn't had any in quite a while. And I hadn't caught any fish in a while because it's been so hot all summer. Even if you went fishing, it was too hot. The fish were not biting at all. Catfish are good, April. They have really white meat. They're not oily. They're not real fishy. I just love them. Okay, it's time for the giveaway. To win the plaque, in my video that I just put out yesterday or day before on the gifts that I won, what was the last gift that a subscriber sent to me that's in that video? There's Sharon Tate. Mardell Lamb got it. It was an electric griddle or electric fry pan. So let me get something to... But you won the Little Buddy plaque, YouTube star. I don't know if I have Mardell's address. Probably not. I'm looking to see, because if I've got it, there's no need in you sending it, but I don't guess I have it. So, Mardell, if you'll send me your address to my Gmail, that hauserlinda49@gmail, I'll send you my, I'll send it to you. Just send me your mailing address. And tell me in the email what the gift was so I don't get confused with someone else. Annie Watson, you're too late. You got it right, but Mardell Lamb, he got it like 10 people before you. Sorry about that. It's in the description of my emails, but it's hauserlinda49@gmail.com. But there you go. You got the Little Buddy Star of YouTube plaque. Gladys, you need to get voice recognition on your phone. What do you use to watch your oh, you said your TV. I think I remember you telling me that you watch it on your TV. Well, did you get in before Mardell? Because Mardell Lamb is the first one I saw that said electric griddle. Mardell was first, then Gladys, Farm Wife. And then Annie Watson. Yeah, you can plant them whenever. I mean, you don't have to plant them now. You can plant your seeds in the spring whenever you feel comfortable. Annie says, I'm behind. Well, I don't know. There were several of them that had the answer right, but Mardell was the first one that said electric skillet or electric frying pan. So, I mean, I'm sorry, the ones that did not win. But Mardell did win the Little Buddy plaque. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to have another giveaway. And I think we lost 2 people already, so they're going to be sorry they left. I'm going to do another plaque giveaway. But this time, I'm going to do a plaque for someone. I've got the plaque. You send me the picture, and I'll put the picture of your choice on the plaque, whether it's a family member, an animal, one of your pets, whether it's Little Buddy. I'll do another plaque for Little Buddy and send it to you. In other words, it's up to you. So I will do another plaque. Now this question is real easy. In my fishing video, the one I just posted, how many fish did I catch? How many fish did I catch in that fishing video that I just posted this week? 3. Connie Jones got it. Okay, Connie. No, Connie got it. I caught 3 catfish. I kept the 2 big ones, and I ended up feeling sorry for the smaller one, and I threw him back, and I said he could grow a little bit longer. And Gladys got it right too, but she was like the 4th one in there. So Connie, send me your mailing address and put in the email what the prize was, and send me a picture. I need a photograph of whatever you want put on that plaque, and I'll do the plaque for you. So send it to hauserlinda49@gmail.com. Include your mailing address and your photograph that you want put on the plaque. So I got Connie and I got Mardell. Mardell won the one, a Little Buddy. And Connie got the... Wait a minute, don't I have your address, Connie? It seemed like I do. I don't know if I said... Seemed like I sent flowers or something. But you still have to send me your photograph. Is it Connie Jones? Yeah, Connie, I do have your mailing address, but you still need to get me your photograph that you want put on the plaque. Just insert or copy and paste the picture into the email, and I can print it out. So that's all the giveaways tonight. I know there was one lady, one of my subscribers said something about that, oh, she would love a plaque like that, especially if it had her pet on it that she no longer had anymore. He'd passed away. But I mentioned to her that if she would send me a photograph of her pet, even though he's passed away, if she had a photograph of him, that I would do a plaque for her. But she may not have had a photograph of him, so. So there's my giveaways for tonight. Aren't y'all glad you were in here? At least you had a chance at winning one of the two, even if you didn't win. And I'm going to have more giveaways similar to that before Christmas. You mean your internet is slow, Annie, or what? You say you're so behind. Can you put little buddy on thumbnail? That would get a little bit expensive for me, Gladys, to do one every week. I don't know that I could do that because I've just done two that I'm going to have to mail out. And I'm not sure how much the postage will be. And I'm one of these people, I live almost from paycheck to paycheck, only I don't get a paycheck. I get a retirement check month to month. And sometimes I wonder if I'm going to pay my bills. So I have to watch what I give away because some of this postage can get expensive. Well, I'm glad you like chatting with us, Sophia. Your cats will fall in love with little buddy. All three are girls, and they'll have this little boy come to visit. How cute. Oh, wow. I don't seem to have that problem. I mean, my internet is the worst for kicking off, but it comes right back on immediately. And it kind of spins for a second sometimes, but I mean, that may cause me to drag behind other people. I don't know. But I'm sorry you didn't win. I mean, I wish everybody could win. I wish I could afford to do all my subscribers one and just mail it to them, but I'm not a rich person, so I can't do that. I might pick out one or two random people between now and Christmas and make a plaque for them and just mail it to them unannounced as a surprise. We'll see. I don't know. But we'll be doing more giveaways like this before Christmas. Like I said, I have to watch what I try to send in the mail because postage is expensive. I have to scan these pictures into my printer or in my computer, and then I have to print them out on my printer. And I tell you, when you print out a big photograph, it drains your ink cartridges, and ink cartridges are not cheap. So, I have to look at all the expense that goes into making these things before I can do a giveaway like every week of them. So, I mean, we'll have more giveaways, but it might not be a plaque. It may be something else. Yeah, sometimes I buy mine off of eBay. I buy it off anywhere where it's cheaper. But usually I have to get it at Walmart because I bought my ink online sometimes. And I've even found some of these refurbished cartridges that are supposed to be the ones for my printer. And then when I got them, they wouldn't work. Well, thank you, Mardell. And I did sign it on the back. I didn't put it on the front, but I put my name on the back. So, April says I'm always losing power out here. I'm sorry. I've lucked out in the area that I'm at. I hardly ever lose power. Now, years ago when I first moved here, every once in a while we lost power and it'd be off for quite a while. But now it hardly ever goes off. Now, we had that week-long snowstorm. There were several days that week that the power was off for an hour. It was on for an hour, off for an hour, on for an hour. And they did that to supply everybody with heat enough to keep their house halfway comfortable with heat and keep the freezers and refrigerators from thawing up because they didn't have enough power to supply everybody. So they alternated it, hour off, hour on. And it was like that 24/7. I know. That's why I started YouTube channel. I said, well, I've heard some people are making a little bit. I said, I don't have to get rich, and I don't expect to, but I said, maybe I'll make a little bit each month to help pay my bills. So that's what I've been doing. It's a supplement to my check coming in every month to help me pay my bills and keep things going. So I don't get my lights turned off, or, I cook with gas, so gas is not cheap. Propane is not cheap. I think gasoline was the lowest yesterday when I went by the store. It was $2.98 a gallon. That's the cheapest it's been in this area for a long time. Well, Joyce, you missed out on the giveaway. We just gave away 2 plaques, and you came in right after we gave it all away. We've been on for an hour waiting for people to come in. But I'm glad you came in and said hello. Gas is $3.95 here in New York. Yeah, it's been like $3.59 or higher here. And I know it was over $3 the last time I got gas. It was like I don't even know, 29, 39, something like that. And then I just happened to notice that it was $2.98. I said, well, I only need a quarter of a tank, but I'm going to go fill it up. So I put a little over 3 gallons of gas in it. So I got a full tank. Yeah, I know said you did, Gladys. I think you're going to be one that's going to get a plaque in the mail. I'm not sure yet. You'll wait and see. Your gas is $4 and something. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, April. Hawaii, California, other places, some places it's like $5, $6 a gallon. I'd have to get me a bicycle. But then I'd have to have an electric motor on it, I guess, because it would irritate my back so bad to pedal it that I couldn't ride it. I know. I need one of them little moped things. You can ride forever on a gallon of gas. Gas is $2.83 at Walmart, and then I got 40 more cents off per gallon. That was a good deal, Annie, because it was $2.98 when I went by Walmart yesterday. When I picked up my Zyrtec and my Bear Aspirin, I noticed the price on the gas, and I said, well, I only need a quarter of a tank, but I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with it being that cheap, because I said if I wait, it's going to go back up, and then I'll have to pull in there and pay more for it. So I went ahead and got it. Can we get a lock of Buddy's hair? His hair is not long enough to really cut hair off of him. What in the world would you do with a lock of his hair, Georgia? We're currently at 5:07. Wow. That's expensive for gas. Well, Connie, your message disappeared as fast as it came up. Yeah, that's what I figured. I said, well, I only need a quarter of a tank. That's a little over 3 gallons. But I said, I'm going to go ahead and fill it up while it's $2.98. I mean, my tank only holds like 12 gallons, and I used to could fill it up for less than $15. I'm lucky if I can fill my tank up on $40 now. Well, I'm glad you came in, Joyce. Glad to have you here. Come more often. My bear, I said, not beer aspirin. It probably just sounded like I said beer. You guys are something else. Georgia said in the video we're talking about power outages and my chat is offline. Oh my goodness, Joyce, thank you for that super chat. Oh my gosh, I didn't expect that, but thank you so much. I like that little genie. She's got a genie on the super chat. I guess that's what that is. I can't really tell. He's blowing heart kisses. But I really appreciate that, Joyce. Thank you so much. I don't get super chats very often, but I really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, she just came in to say hello, and there goes a super chat from her. Oh my gosh, that was a surprise. I put the heads and the innards and all the stuff that I didn't cook into my compost buckets. They're going to make me some good compost tea to pour on some plants. It's going to be some good fertilizer. I know they used to put fish down the rows of their garden. They'd make their row, dig it out, and then they'd go down the row and lay fish in the rows and then cover it up. And then they'd plant their vegetables along there. Made the best fertilizer in the world. Gladys is here, Slim. I didn't see you come in. Hi there. You're too late for the giveaway. We've already done 2 giveaways. Connie won the Little Buddy plaque. No, Mardell Lamb won the Little Buddy plaque that I made, and Connie Jones won the one that I'm going to do for her. She's going to send me a photograph, and I'm going to do her a plaque. But this is the one Mardell Lamb one of Little Buddy, the YouTube star. I think it turned out kind of cute. Yeah, everybody always made such a big fuss over Little Buddy. I figured I'd do a plaque with him on it because he's such a YouTube star and give it away. And Mardell won it. So cute, I'm doing a latch hook of my cat. Well, there's Too Tall Rob. Hello. You should have come in earlier, Too Tall. We already gave the prizes away. The Little Buddy YouTube star plaque, Mardell won that. And Connie won a plaque that I'm going to do for her. She's going to mail or send me a photograph through email, and I'm going to print it out and put that on a plaque for her. It'll be a photograph of her choice. Georgia says, but Little Buddy's my idol. If he only knew he was a YouTube star. In a way, I think he does know. He already acts like he's a privileged cat. I don't know. I haven't seen Wilkes County Boy in my last live either. But some people say he must have been watching a ball game Sunday. I don't know where he is tonight. Maybe he's cooking. But it'd be a little late for him to be cooking. It's what, 9:30 there now? But he could have had something else to do. Oh, my nose. Just here for the good times. Well, good, Too Tall Rob. We love having you. April snoring. What? How did that get in there? April says she's snoring. Oh, the president spoke at 8 Eastern time. County boy snoring. Wilkes may be watching the kids. I didn't know he had kids to watch. What does he do? Watch neighbors' kids or relatives' kids or something? Thursday night football. Too Tall Rob says, good night. It's time for me to start my critter cam. The raccoons are getting hungry. Well, I'm glad you took the time to stop in and say hi. I always love it when people stop in. Michelle, have a good night. We've been on here for quite a while, so I'm probably going to get off too. Used to watch Critter Cam, April. I have a raccoon and a possum that comes up on my porch sometimes. That's one reason I started feeding Buddy in the house, is because I'd put his bowl outside and I'd open the door sometime and Buddy would be there, but he'd have a raccoon or a possum there with him too. I said, oh no, I'm not feeding all the raccoons and possums out there. Slim Twiggy says she's got an Elvis a thermos for you, Bun, if you want it, and it's brand new. Well, Annie, I can't pronounce the name. Must be from another country because their message is not all in English, so I don't read it. All I see is the doctor. Yes, Georgia, pray for peace. You have a good night, Georgia. Yeah, but I don't want them under my house. I had to barricade the underpinning of my house because they would get under my house and have babies, and they caused fleas under my house. And those fleas came in my house. And the only way I could get rid of the fleas was to get the possums out from under my house. So I don't mind them being in the yard, but I don't want them around so they go under the house. And I have armadillos, and they do carry rabies. I have armadillos that come in my yard all the time. Yeah, all those wild animals. You never know what they carry. Have mongoose, April says. I have road runners, but I don't mind them. I love watching those birds. They're so cute. Oh no, you had one to pass away under your deck, and I bet you didn't know it was there till you smelled him either. And I know that wasn't nice. Yeah, I have armadillos coming in my yard. They come in when the new little grass shoots come up because they love all the little tender grass sprouts. And it looks like a pig has been rooting in the yard when they're out here. Stink bomb, I can imagine. I had a cat that got under my house and died. I didn't know it was there till I started smelling him. You talk about that was terrible. I had to hire a kid, real skinny kid, because a big person couldn't get under there. He had to go under my house at one end, go all the way to the other where that cat was. He took a black trash bag with him, and he managed, and he had on gloves, he managed to get that cat in that bag and drag him out. I mean, I paid him to do it, but it was worth a lot more than I paid him to go under that house and do that. I could have never gotten under there. The smell alone would have kept me out, even if I didn't have claustrophobia. Yeah, Mardell was telling us earlier about this Elvis book that he got at Goodwill. I hope Bloomin' is okay. I didn't know she was going to the doctor today. I'll have to send her a message. Yeah, good night, Connie. You have a great night. Sweet dreams and sleep tight. I think I've got one or two Elvis albums. I've still got these vinyl albums, and I've got a stereo, cabinet style stereo that has a turntable that, I mean, it's an antique, really, but it still works. It's got an 8-track player in it. It's got an AM FM radio in it, and it's got a turntable that I can still play my vinyl records on. And I've got a stack of vinyl records, and they're pretty old records too. They're albums. Yeah, good night, Connie. Thanks for coming. Don't forget to send me your photograph. I think you're the one, the photograph and the that you want put on the plaque. There's Bloomin'. I was just telling everybody that I hoped you were okay. I sent you the message at the last minute that I was live. I had forgot to send it. And then I found out you went to the doctor today, and I said, well, you may not be able to make it. And I was just saying, I hope you're okay. You just woke up. Well, you missed the giveaway for the Little Buddy plaque. Mardell Lamb won it. And then Connie Jones, I did another drawing or question to give away a plaque that I will make for anyone, and they will send me the photograph that I'm going to put on it. And Connie Jones won that, so she's got to get her photograph to me through the email. Love and prayers to you too, Connie. And I was telling everybody earlier that my sister-in-law, she starts rehab tomorrow, but they're not letting her come home from the hospital. She's got to stay in the hospital for the rehab. They'll wait and see how rehab goes. And if she does good, then she'll be able to come home after the rehab. But she's got so many health problems, they're not letting her come home until she goes through rehab. I hope everything went okay at the doctor today, Bloomin'. My back is getting hot on this chair. Oh, just a routine pain check, clinic check. Well, that's good. At least it's not anything worse. I mean, that's bad enough from what you're telling me that you're going through, but at least there's not another problem that's come up. Long drive just for a checkup. Well, I'm lucky, I guess. I go in once or twice a year for my annual checkup, and my doctor's right here in town, so it takes me about 5 minutes to get to his office. So it's not a big deal for me. Gladys says her son does for him. Her. At least 2 hours? Oh, wow. That's kind of a long drive. Yeah, my allergy doctor now is in Fort Worth, and that's, I mean, if I have a reaction to allergies and I'm getting sick with allergies, I don't trust myself to drive to Fort Worth. So I won't drive up there. I'll suffer through it, or I'll go to my regular doctor here and let them give me a shot. I don't drive all the way to Fort Worth. I did go up there one time before when I got real bad with allergies, and I couldn't think straight, so I wasn't about to get in the car to drive. And I had transit drive me up there. So I felt important. I was chauffeured up there that day. We all care about you, Gladys. Don't think for 1 minute we don't. Because we all think about you. Yeah, isn't it terrible about Annie? That's terrible. But I know my brother's wore out because I don't know how far the hospital is from where he lives in Mountain City, Tennessee. I'm hoping it's not too far because I know he stays at that hospital most of the time with Barbara. He probably doesn't leave her any more than he has to. So I know he's wore out. And, he just got over a light heart attack himself, so I get worried about him, too. Pancakes will help. You crazy, Gladys. We already had that pancake party. Had pumpkin pancakes. Wait till you see my video that comes out tomorrow, Gladys. You're definitely going to want that. Not the one I'm going to be putting out in the morning. It's uploading now. So it hasn't been posted yet. Wait till you see this one. You're really going to want it. Just wait and see. You'll have to leave me a good comment on it. You probably saw the one on the pancakes, but you haven't seen the one I'm talking about because, like I said, it's uploading now. It hasn't even finished uploading, and I'll post it in the morning. Your daughter has heated seats in the SUV. Put it on heat for my back, and it felt so good. Oh, I bet. Heat is good for the arthritis, too. You funny. I'm not telling you any more about it, Gladys. You'll just have to wait and see the video when I post it in the morning. It'll probably be about 9 o'clock or so by the time I get it posted. But it will be out in the morning. First one I've done in several years. But I'm not going to tell you what it is. Yeah, I think my daughter has heated seats in her vehicles, probably all of them. And for their dogs, they have a hookup that runs from their motor, from their car or their pickup heater and AC unit that goes into the little dog cage or dog house that's on the back of their pickup. So when their dogs travel with them or they take them hunting or wherever they go, they can put them in that cage and it keeps them air conditioned or it keeps them heated when it's cold. I said, those are privileged dogs. Yeah, that's luxury for dogs. I couldn't afford to do that. But somehow they've rigged up some kind of thing on his new truck. Or maybe you can buy the hookups. I don't know. But he said it's hooked into the heating and cooling system of the pickup to where anytime they needed heat or cool air to go back in there where the dogs are, they can flip the switch and it puts one or the other in the dog box. It keeps them cool or it heats them up, whichever one they need. But my daughter and her husband don't have any children, so their two dogs are their kids. You probably would, Bloomin'. If you needed to do that, yeah, you probably would. I wouldn't have the money to do it, not unless it was real cheap and somebody did it for me, because I wouldn't know how. But those are spoiled dogs, I'll tell you. Most hunters back home, if they're taking their dogs hunting with them, the dogs jump up in the back of the pickup right out in the open air and they're off. They're not in a box, a cage, or nothing else. And then when they get where they're going to hunt, the dogs jump out. So they're not heated and they're not cool either. Okay, Slim Twiggy, see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. I get more tongue tied every day. Gladys says, I'm still looking for a man with no heartbeat. One of these days, Gladys, I'm going to find you a wooden Indian and I'm going to send him to you. And you can stand him up in the corner. And then you can say you got you a man with no heartbeat. Even though I wonder sometimes, even some of these living men out there, I wonder if they have a heartbeat. If you get my drift. I saw Stephen on Facebook when I got home today and tried on his live and Tammy's at the same time, but I fell asleep. Yeah, I saw both. I saw a little bit of Stephen's when he come on Facebook, and then I also saw just a few minutes of Tammy's. I saw it when she went over to his new house and was talking about that a little bit, and then I had to get off because I had other stuff to do before my live started. So yeah, that's what I was talking about, April. You're still looking for a man with a heart. Yeah, most of the men out there, you would probably say they don't have a heartbeat because they definitely don't have a heart from the stuff they do and the way they act most of the time. I said hello to you on Tammy's. I missed it, Bloomin'. I was doing so many things at the time, it was not funny, Bloomin', so it was probably easy to miss it. Yeah, I'd like to find a man with a heartbeat. Or with a heart. Most of them don't have one. They don't have a conscience either. I was trying to participate, but sleep got the best of me. That happens sometimes, Bloomin'. Yeah, I'm sure there's one or two out there, but usually they're already taken. Yeah, some men are just downright mean. And they're usually the ones that are available. All the good ones are taken. So they're not going to do me any good. They're not available. Men don't understand that women are not made up like they are. Our hormones are totally different than theirs. Yeah, that's true. We're supposed to be the weaker sex, and some of these men think they're the female and they're the ones that should be taken care of. I think they got role reversal. Yeah, see, the last few men that I dated, they were looking for sugar mamas. And I don't have the money or the time to be a sugar mama to anybody. That's okay, April. Men be like, why do you cry all the time? They don't understand that they are the reason we cry. Yep, that's true. I just told him, I said, well, if you didn't make me cry, I wouldn't be crying. I mean, you see some of these couples out there, they just look like they were a match made in heaven. They get along so well, and they just look like they were so well matched. I don't know that I'd ever find anybody like that. My first husband wasn't too bad, but there just wasn't enough money for nobody to live on. Things couldn't go on like that. But then again, there's always something in there. It's like my last husband. He made decent money, took care of the bills, always took care of the family. But there was a lot of issues with him. I know. I'm a poor mama. I can't be nobody's sugar mama. But they always thought because I looked good years ago that I had all this money. I dated this one good looking guy one time, muscle bound. He always worked out, looked like a bodybuilder. But he was one of those that wanted a sugar mama. You had to pay the bills for everything. If you wanted to go somewhere, well, you used your car, your gas. You paid for it. You paid the motel room. You paid whatever the expense was to do whatever he wanted to do. I just can't do that. No more. I didn't do it very long then either. You've been called Stephen Sugar Mama. Oh my goodness, blooming. I don't think you could be called his sugar mama because you voluntarily send him whatever it is you send him. He's not right at your side asking you to do this and to do that and to take him here and take him there and pay for his meals and pay for this. I've never heard Stephen ask you for anything. You voluntarily send it to him. That's different. But I guess you can be a sugar mama in a way, in a good way, put it that way. Also been called the Hodges cash cow. Oh my God. That was probably for some people that were jealous. They were just upset because you weren't sending them all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, the bad comments that come into chat like that, blooming, they're just people that are mean and they're jealous. They don't like it because they're not getting stuff and they're not getting attention. That's all it is. Yeah, you're just a good person. A good person that loves spreading the love. I mean, if I had anything to spread around, I would too, but I'm wondering sometimes if I'm even going to pay my bills from month to month, so I don't have a whole lot to spread around. I do what I can. Out there don't like for others to send them things. Well, if other people don't like for you to send the Hodges stuff or Miss Helen stuff, that's their problem. I mean, that's a problem they've got to deal with. If they want to be in the situation like the Hodges are to where people are sending them stuff, Well, let them get out there and put up a YouTube channel and do all the stuff that the Hodges have done. Then maybe they'd have people sending them stuff too. I mean, you got to put out the effort and the time and the work if you want any rewards out of it. It's the way I look at it. I know one thing, since I've started my channel, it's work, y'all. You put out one or two videos a day, if they're halfway decent, that's a lot of work. Even one a day is a lot of work. Plus, you know, doing other stuff you've got to do. You put out one really good, really good video a week, and it's a lot of work. People don't realize what goes into doing that. I mean, granted, it's easier to go live because you don't have to edit your videos and do a lot of stuff to them. But then it's hard to go live if you're doing the stuff like Steven does, or like getting out in the garden and working, because you're running around all over the yard, and unless you have somebody that can work the camera for you, it's virtually impossible to go live doing that. That's why I just pick and choose times that I can go live and I can sit and chat with people, you know, rather than trying to get out there and do stuff, because there's no way I can look at the chat and get out there and do garden work. And I can't really look at the chat when I'm cooking and doing stuff either. So, and my camera just flipped off and reconnected. I don't know if anybody else's did, but it was immediate, so maybe it didn't put a glitch in the video. Oh, blooming, that sounds so nice. I was lucky to get hand-me-downs when I was little. I mean, like I said, I come from a big family. We lived out in the country. My dad got out of the service. So once he came home from the service, there was not a lot of money coming in, because jobs for carpenters and home builders and the type of work that he did was very scarce. And I usually wore hand-me-downs every year. My school clothes were hand-me-downs, but I didn't mind. Or it was clothes my mom made for me, and I didn't mind that. I always loved what my mom made for me. Well, thank you, Gladys. I try to have pretty decent videos. You got hand-me-downs from your older sisters? Well, see, I didn't have any older sisters. And sometimes I did wear some of my brother's blue jeans, if there was anything left of them by the time I got them. You know, thinking back, though, their old wore-out blue jeans would have been designer jeans today. Because you go to the store to buy jeans, and they're full of holes, and they look like somebody just tore them all up. You can't wait for tomorrow, Gladys, to see my other video. You'll like it. Yeah, I always had a closet full of clothes, but they were hand-me-downs. They were hand-me-downs or clothes that my mom made. She would make my dresses, not only because we couldn't afford to buy them, but they didn't have petite sizes back then. And if I bought a dress that was in one piece, the waistline was always hanging about 2 inches too long. So my mom started making my clothes to where they'd fit the way they should. But yeah, I never minded getting hand-me-downs. They wore just as good as brand new clothes. She can't wait, blooming, for the video that I'm going to post tomorrow morning. Because I told her she'd like it. And she had not seen this one yet. Because it's uploading now. I can't tell you what it is. because it's a surprise. Gladys is gonna have to watch it in the morning to see what it is. But I told her she'd like it. It'll be out about 9 o'clock in the morning, somewhere along in there, hopefully. Have a good night, April, or evening. It's still early for you. Probably just about supper time. Going outside. Oh, hi from Egypt. Well, hello, Jihad. I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly, but I love having you in our chat. Glad you came by. Was I even close to your name, Jihad? Jihada? Jada? There's Helen Stewart. Hello, Helen. You missed the giveaway, Helen. We already gave away the Little Buddy YouTube star plaque and the other one that I'm going to do for Connie. Yeah, I'm sure your mom did, Bloomin'. But from Egypt, wow, that's a long way away. Welcome to my chat, Egypt. I almost missed your live. I am happy I caught you. Well, I'm glad you did too, Helen. I'm trying to have one every Thursday night at 7, and then another one on Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. And that's Central Time. So you have to figure out what time zone you're in. Yeah, I wonder what time it is in Egypt right now. Well, we're glad you don't shut up, Bloomin'. Gotta? Gator? Gotta? Helen says she's the same time zone as I am. She's in Texas. Well, I have a live at 7 Thursdays and then 3 p.m. on Sunday. And then some other times I just all of a sudden pop up and have a live at night just because I'm not sleeping or I get bored and I just want to get online. So I get online and do a live. So, but I try to plan Thursday at 7 and Sunday at 3. So put that on your time calendar so you'll know. Now I got to talk. I can't help it. Well, that's good, Bloomin'. Talk all you want. Whenever someone will listen, I'm always talking. Well, good. We want to hear what you got to say. I see you went fishing. Yeah, I finally made it fishing and I caught 3 catfish. I had fish for supper last night and then I had the other one for dinner today. I threw the little fish back, let him grow a little bit, and I brought the 2 bigger ones home with me. I know chats aren't the same without Bloomin'. You're storing up all your energy when you're sleeping, blooming. So when you wake up, you just go full force. Yeah, I love to see you in chat, blooming. You have so much to say in such a little time. I know. I know when I don't see somebody for a long time, when I do see them, I'm just a motor mouth. I mean, they can't shut me up. I get my brother Mike on the phone, whose wife is in the hospital right now. I prefer to chat with him because then I don't keep him on the phone all night. But if I get on the telephone with him, I just talk his head off. And I know I drive him crazy when I do that. So I chat with him now to where I don't take up his whole day. Well, thank you, Helen. Well, Linda, see, people don't understand we live alone. And when we find someone to talk to, we talk their ears off. Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. I hardly ever have anybody come to the house to see me. I don't usually go visit neighbors. Like today, my neighbor that just had her baby, she was coming out to let her dog out. So I guess the baby was asleep, taking a nap. And she let her dog out, and she was out in the front yard as I went out to feed little Buddy. So I went out to my mailbox while she was out there, and I asked her, I said, well, I bet that little boy's grown an inch since I saw him. She says, oh, he's grown more than that. Because you know how little babies are, newborns. I mean, you can wait a week and go back and see it, and it looks like it's gained 4 or 5 pounds when he doesn't weigh but that much. She had a little boy, and I think she said he weighed 7 pounds and something. Thank you, Bloomin', but I don't feel very pretty. Well, thank you, both of you. It's a nice compliment. Bloomin' says Linda's a sassy lassie. Now that might be true. I can get sassy when I want to. Grey's Anatomy fan. Well, hello. I haven't seen you in chat tonight till now. Well, you should. I don't comment much, but I was going to say how pretty you look this evening. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's one of my new ones. It's a little big. I was afraid to order the large because I said, well, it'll be too tight. Because it seemed like every time I order one that I think is going to fit, it's too darn tight. And I ordered an extra large, and it just swallows me. But I said maybe I could throw it in the dryer somewhere a couple of times, and it'll shrink. And then it'll probably be too small. You have a glow to yourself this stream. Oh, I doubt you're a big old cow blooming. I've never worn a large in my life. I've always wore small sizes because I'm real small built. It was a long time before I even got up to the ladies' sizes, eights and tens. Oh my God, 4X. So you've lost some weight. Yeah, we're in pretty good spirits. We've been laughing and joking, cutting up here. Yeah, a hunk of burning love. Yeah, I'm starting to get love handles over my waist of my pants. I guess that's just love handles, huh? Oh, got something for sure. Well, that's what Elvis called it, a hunk of burning love. Now you wear a 2X shirt. Take in mind that I'm 5'2". That's a short stack of something. That's a hunk of burning love. I'm only 5'2", 5'2" and a half at the most, maybe. And I feel like a cow myself. I mean, I feel like I'm too big because I'm the biggest I've ever been in my life. Elvis Presley loves Mardell. Your mom was only barely 5 feet. My mom was shorter than me, and my grandmother was shorter than her. Both of my grandmothers were like 4 foot something. They didn't even hardly make 5 feet. But yet my mom had brothers that were 6'5". My grandpa was 6'5", but my grandmother didn't even reach 5 foot tall. Helen says I was 5'5", but I'm shrinking. I haven't measured my height in years, so I don't know what I am right now. I mean, I may have shrunk too. It's a shame that my weight doesn't shrink with my height. But somehow that doesn't happen, does it? You shrink and the weight is still there. Sharon Tate. Hi, Sharon. I'm 6 feet tall. I have 5 brothers. Where did that go? It disappeared, Sharon. Why did you take it out? I was reading it, disappeared. I'm 5. That's it. Baron, do you remember at what age you gave up your virginity? Well, I got married when I was 15 the first time, so I guess then. I must always making fun of myself, Mardell. You know me, ha ha. I'm always making fun of myself, Mardell. You know me, ha ha. Sharon, what happened to your statement? It disappeared. I am shortest in my family. I am the shortest in my family, including my mother and father. Well, my dad was an average height. He was not a tall man, but all my uncles were, especially on my mom's side. Well, the way I figured, I'm tired of pleasing men. I'm gonna please myself. I'm a little overweight, but I can't help it. You know, things happen through the years with health and going to doctors, and one thing and another happened, and it just put weight on me. And I haven't been able to lose it. And I say the heck with it. I'm not going to starve myself to be thin again. I'm the shortest in my family. Everyone is in 6'2", and I made all my clothes. Huh. If you're 6 foot, well, you probably like me. I was just the opposite. I was so short, clothes wouldn't fit. So mom made mine, and then later in life, I made my own. And I can imagine it's the same way with tall women. It's hard to find clothes that fit because you are tall. And if you go to some of these tall shops, clothes are really outrageously expensive. Yeah, I've got to where I don't care what people think. I used to worry about it all the time, what people will say if I do this, what people will say if I do that. I don't really care anymore. I figure at my age, I don't have to care. Somebody doesn't like what I'm wearing, if they don't like the way I do my house, guess what? They don't pay my bills. They don't have a right to criticize. It's the way I look at it. Well, it was fun sometimes growing up being short, because it seemed like all the men loved the shorter women. They thought the short women were so cute. But when you kind of get older, they don't really care about short or tall anymore. They could care less. I mean, I care in a way. I always want to be my best, but I'm not going to starve myself to be thin. I'm not going to worry myself sick if somebody criticizes something about me or my house. Like I said, they don't pay my bills, so they don't have a right to criticize. I knew I clicked this live for a reason. You're speaking absolute. Well, that's the way it is. I mean, if somebody's paying your bills, they're taking care of you, they're paying for everything for you, then they might have a right to criticize about something. But hey, no one pays my bills. No one cleans my house. No one cooks for me. No one mows my yard. No one does garden work. I do all of that. So my way of thinking, you don't have a right to criticize anything I do or say. Exactly right. Life is too short to care. It's too short to worry about what other people think. As long as you're not hurting someone, you're not doing anything illegal, you're living the best way you know how, more power to you. If you want to sleep till 11 o'clock in the morning, more power to you if you're retired. If you want to get up at 4 a.m., more power to you. I mean, if I'm up all night because I can't sleep, I fall asleep at 8 o'clock in the morning, I might sleep till 12 or 1 o'clock. And I don't care. Blooming. Yeah, it used to make me sick. I mean, I used to worry myself sick, stressing out about what people think, what people will say, what people do, trying to please other people. And I found in life that don't work. They could care less. All they do is mouth off. They'll criticize and walk off, and 5 minutes later, they don't remember what they criticized you about. But yet they leave you stressed out over it. I don't worry anymore. I'm through caring. Well, hey, Joyce. I thought you left us. Yeah, life is just absolutely too short to worry yourself sick about what other people think, say, or do. I live my life the way I can live it the best I can, plain and simple, and I don't really care about the rest. Connie says I had to come back in and say, all you ladies are beautiful people, no matter big, small, tall, short. So I fooey to those who don't like what you look like or what you do for others, fooey with them. That's what I say, Connie. Life's too short to live your life for what other people think or say. Brush it off and say the heck with it. Tomorrow's another day. Let the Lord deal with them. Gladys has dishpan hands. Yep, I mean, that's what you got to do is live for your own happiness. Please yourself. As long as you don't hurt people, you're not doing anything illegal, you're living right. Hey, more power to you. Linda makes Gladys pancakes. Wait till she sees what I made for her tomorrow when she sees that video. Yep, Sharon, I agree too. You got to live your own life and be happy. Don't stress about other people. Life's too short. I feel like sometimes I was 18, I went to sleep, I woke up and had two kids. I went to sleep again, woke up, my kids are grown and gone, and I'm 40, 50 years older. It's like, where did all the years go? I mean, it's just went. We're only going to be on this earth one time that I know of, at least in this life form anyway. So make the best of your life. Be happy. Yeah, you got to laugh it off. I don't criticize other people because, I know what life has been like in my life, how I've struggled, with money situations and stuff like that. So I look around me. I don't criticize other people. I know they do the best they can. Yeah, first time I got married, I was 15 years old. My mom liked to died. My dad signed the papers and she didn't know it for me to get married. And we went to South Carolina and got married because over there, you didn't have to wait or take blood tests or anything like that. I had my daughter when I was like, 19? I just turned 20. Well, she was born in January. I turned 20 that May. So I was actually 19 years old when she was born. But I loved my first husband. He was a good man. He didn't make much money. I mean, they were poor people, but they were good people. Yep, laughter is the best medicine. You got that right. Well, it was not anything back when I got married for girls to get married young. Out in the country, farmland, it was nothing for, girls to get married young. I mean, when I got married, there wasn't that many young girls getting married, but there was a few. Some of them were like a year or two older than me, but there were some that ended up getting pregnant and they were still going to school because they wanted to graduate, and they ended up getting married. I didn't have to get married. I mean, I just got married. I know the word got out at one time that I got married so young because I got pregnant or something. I had to get married. I said, no. I said, I got married when I was 15. I didn't have my daughter till I was 19 years old, almost 20. And I said, that was a long pregnancy. Yeah, I know you do, Bloomin'. You do that all the time. I just wonder sometimes what you might need. Maybe people should be sending you something. If you can't give, you're miserable. You don't need a thing. Yep, that's all a lot of people need, but some of them don't have it. Some people out there blooming don't have a clue. When you're a teenager, you don't stop and realize that you're only going to be in this world one time. And life is not as long as what you think it's going to be. I mean, when you're 16, 17, 18 years old, to hit 85 years old, that seems like that's forever. But I promise you, once you pass 20 years old, you start working, those 85 years go by really fast. They go by like a freight train. So you got to make the most of every single day. Enjoy life. Make the best of it. Live a right life. Don't get out there and get in trouble and stuff. Because you're only on this earth one time, one go round, and that's it. Gladys says I have to wash your dishes again tomorrow. I guess. Isn't it? Your lifespan. Because the Bible says that you can extend your life by the things you do on this earth. You can also shorten your life by what you do on this earth. And there's some truth to that. Yeah. I mean, I see these people living on the streets. They're doing drugs. And oh, I just accidentally come across a video the other day. I was flipping through videos trying to find something I wanted to watch. It was kind of late at night. And this poor girl, at the beginning of this video, she was walking on the street. If you can call it walking, I mean, she looked like a zombie. And she couldn't walk straight. She'd take one or two steps forward and she looked like she was going to fall backwards. And I said, you know, she was either drunk or strung out on drugs. And she probably lived on the street. She was probably homeless. And I don't know. I just wonder how people get there, you know? Do y'all realize we've been on here for over 2 hours? Gladys, you missed a spot. Yeah, some people think, well, I can do this, I can get away with it. Nobody's ever going to know. Oh, yes, they do know. Good Lord above sees everything you do. You don't hide from him. He says, I know, and I'm wore out trying to make y'all laugh. Well, you're making me laugh. I don't know about anybody else. Gladys. Am I reading Gladys's statement right? It says, me too. Stupid and horny. Connie said, Connie said she just spit her water out. Oh, God. Yeah, we need to get Gladys a shirt that has that on it, Mardell. Stupid and horny. Oh. Now, Gladys, you are going to laugh if you get that shirt in the mail that says stupid and horny on it. Mardell, we need to find out what size she wears. Mardell. Young, dumb, and full of you fill in the blank. That's true, Bloomin'. Some people never do. They never have anybody to show them a bit of love. Oh, that's so funny. Slim Twiggy left before the fun got started. She needs a shirt. All Gladys needs a shirt too that says, "All I want for Christmas is a man with no heartbeat," or "All I want for Christmas is a wooden Indian." Oh, oh gosh. Mardell. Mardell said she got hot all of a sudden. Oh, yeah, that would. We couldn't put wooden Indian on her shirt. Oh. Spencer Love, hello. Oh, oh, I haven't laughed that hard in a while. You know Gladys is laughing. Oh man. Or Gladys could use a shirt that has "I need a bone" on the front of it. Or "Where's my bone?" Oh, I better hush. I'm gonna get myself in trouble here in a minute. Oh, Blooming's fixing to lay the law down on somebody, Mardell. Yep. I know she's laughing so hard she can't see the keyboard. Oh. Oh my goodness. Well, hi, Mary. How are you doing this evening? We're just having a good old time. Oh my gosh. I think Mardell is female, right? Am I right, Mardell? Bloomin says she thinks she rubbed off on Mardell. So you got married young too, April. I've been married twice too. 10 years each time. And now I've been divorced longer than I've ever been married, so. That's Elvis's picture on there. On Mardell's profile picture. That's Elvis. Yeah, felt sure Mardell was female. I think she said one time before, a long time ago, that it was female. Joy says a bone. Yeah, because Gladys is always mentioning bone. And then she got into wooden Indian. And I said, well, a wooden Indian doesn't have a bone. Oh. Although we could have embarrassed the guy too. She hasn't said anything about a bone tonight, but usually she's saying something about a bone. I've noticed in some of the other live chats that I've been in that the mods, as well as some of the people that aren't mods, were all kind of like debating and arguing amongst themselves. They were the ones causing the trouble, and some of the mods were right in on it with them. So, but the person that has that channel can kick the mod out and can unmod them in a heartbeat. Their name will go from blue to gray or white in a heartbeat if they want to change them. Blooming, you've been married 17 and a half times. You're going to break the world record, girl. There goes Gladys. Did somebody say bone? Sounds like Liz Taylor. Oh, me. Well, I had to try them all out, and you can't sleep with a man unless you're married to him. Oh, my God. Oh, you're crazy. I heard some say that they it was like being with a man is like buying a car. You got to try it out before you buy it. I don't know how many think that's true, but and I guess men could say the same thing. If they're going to buy a car, they want to try it out before they buy it. And they treat the women the same way. They ain't going to marry somebody unless they try it out first. The one half time I was at the altar, but I ran before I said I do. You were a runaway bride, huh, Bloomin'? He's still in rehab. My dad told me one will buy a cow if they can get the milk for free. Exactly. And one of my friends told me that his mom always told him not to ever marry a woman that gives it to him before they get married, because he said you don't want to marry a woman like that. I guess that's why he's never been married. They give it to him before they get married. He's still single. Oh, I know you were kidding. I know you wasn't married no 17 and a half times. But I have been married twice. My daughter was her dad was my first husband, and then my son, his dad was my second husband. Yeah, pray that he stays clean if he's been in rehab. Gladys says I tried many cars. Gladys is just something else, I'll tell you. But I really have been married 4 times, and that number wouldn't be so high if I hadn't believed that I had to marry him in order to sleep with him. That part is true, huh? You know, I've often wondered about that. There's some truth in it in a little way, but I'd rather wait till I was married before I, went to bed with a guy. But what happens if you go to bed with this guy and you find out there's no way you want to be in bed with this dude and you're already married to him? That makes for a bad situation. I mean, I'm not saying that would happen, but what if it did? You know? Spencer Love, hello. Oh my God, we're going on 3 hours here, ladies. We got to end this. My sister used to think she was going to die if she didn't have it for 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. But you see, what I wasn't seeing was how I was making myself look. The other people, by marrying so many times, I mean, do you marry in order to save your name while all the while you're making? Well, thank you, Spencer. You just subscribed. Thank you. I always need new subscribers. Glad to have you in my chat. I try to go live on Thursday at 7 and Sunday at 3. My man was quiet when we slept. You all aren't missing nothing. All he does is fart and snore. Connie, I still want you to go to that male dance club with your daughter. I think it was you that said your daughter wanted you to go with her. Oh, I don't know if I can handle much more of this chat. One thing about it, it's loosening my chest up. Oh, man. Grey's Anatomy says, don't end it. Good vibes going on. Oh, my God. I'll be so wound up, I'll be up all night. Well, like I said, Connie, you should go. At least one time you should go with your daughter and have a good time. Just experience it. It'll be fun, I promise you. You'll probably laugh and carry on like there's no tomorrow, and you'll have a good time. Because the first time I ever went to the one up in Dallas or Fort Worth, wherever it was, they call it LeBairs. And it's like Chippendales. There's like 6, 7 dancers that come out at one time, all guys, and they do like the Chippendales. They get up there and they dance and they strip and they get women up on the stage with them. And but like I said in my other live, I was in awe. I mean, it's like, oh my God. The first time I saw the dancers come out and the way they danced and those little skimpy G strings they had on, I thought to myself, I don't believe they're doing that. Sometimes I will be talking to him and he's snoring. Then he wakes up and he says, "What, honey? I heard everything you said." Yeah, Gladys needs to go to Chippendales. Oh my goodness, April. I'm reading your comment, Bloom, and I can't help but laugh. I mean, I had a good time just watching and the dancers and how they were all carrying on. I wasn't about to do what they were doing, but I had fun watching everybody else. Oh my God. Well, what they had was no more than strings, Gladys. It didn't leave anything hardly for the imagination. Butt floss. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Just like Joan Rivers said. She said you walk down the beach and all these people are out there wearing butt floss. But you know, those guys that are up there dancing, they're college students. They're young guys, 18, 19, 20 years old. They don't care. They're up to have the time of their life and they're making money doing it. They found the more they shake around and fool around with the women, the more money they put in their little G string, the more money they throw up on the stage to them. That awful. Oh, yeah. I couldn't handle that. Little girls, to me, there were little girls slid down the pole naked. And well, the ones we're talking about, they were all guys. There was no women there. They were like Chippendale dancers. It was all guys, but they're all like I said, most of them were college students. That's how they're working their way through college or making extra money while they're going to college. There was no strip poles on the stage, not where we went. They do table dances for you. It cost you extra. You had to pay whichever one you wanted to do the table dance. And I never did that. I never paid any of them to do no table dance for me. I didn't want them that close to me. Oh. So it was all women up on the stage. April says after Chippendales we could go get pancakes. Connie says no table dances. Well, that's what Helen says. Well, I got so tickled at this couple that I knew, this older couple, Jesse and Patsy. They lived in San Francisco for a short period. And these are comical people. And I don't know where Patsy was that day, but Jesse found this bar to go into. And he didn't know what kind of bar he walked into. But he said, I walked in and there was all kind of good looking women. There was nothing but good looking women in this bar. He said, I went over and sat down, and one of the waitresses come up and took his order, and he got him some beer to drink. And all of a sudden, this good looking woman slid in beside him in the booth. And before he knew it, she was rubbing his leg. And after him drinking a couple of beers, he said he got brave. He started rubbing her leg. And he kept getting higher and higher. And all of a sudden, he got hold of something he didn't want to get hold of. It wasn't a woman. It was a guy. But he said he was dressed up like the best woman he'd ever seen. And about the time he realized where he was at, another good-looking woman comes up to the table arguing with him because that was his girlfriend. You know, they were all guys in the darn club. And before he knew it, he had one on each side of him, carrying him to the door, and they threw him out on the sidewalk. He was in a gay bar where all these guys were dressed up like beautiful women. And he thought it was his lucky day that he died and went to heaven, you know. He got in this bar where he was the only man with all these good-looking women till he found out they weren't women. No, there's nothing wrong with gay men, but what I'm saying is it was comical if you knew Jesse, how comical he is to begin with. And for him to sit there and tell you that story about what happened to him and how they just picked him up and threw him out on the sidewalk. It was just funny. But he said after that, he was careful of what bar he walked into. He said he tried to make sure that he was going in the right bar the next time, that he didn't end up in another bar where it was all guys, but it looked like women. Because he said that's not the bar he wanted to be in. It was just funny to hear him tell it. I mean, I worked with two guys one time that went to these clubs at night, especially on weekends, where they dressed up like women, and told me about how they were in contests where one of them would win prizes. You know, he'd win stuff quite often, being the best one, the best dressed in these contests. And they were nice people. They were funny. I love to hear them talk and laugh and carry on, tell you stories about stuff. It was funny. If you knew how funny he was just one of these country bumpkins, you know. And Jesse's a little sweetheart. I mean, Patsy's a little sweetheart country lady. And she laughed at him when he told the story because she wasn't with him. She thought that was the funniest thing that ever happened to him. He'd be careful of what bar he walked into after that. Oh. Yeah, they've ruined rainbows for me. I love rainbows, but now when I see one or two, I think it always reminded me of gay pride. I was in chat room one time when Yahoo had like slots in chat on the side, and it was called the Rainbow Room, but I didn't know anything about it until I listened a bit and was what? Yeah. I've never come up with a rainbow room before, so I've not experienced that. Oh my goodness. Well, ladies, we've been on here for 3 hours. We got to get off. I mean, I enjoy it, but oh my goodness, I don't know if I can laugh anymore. Rainbows are God's promises. They can't change that. Then later, my sister told me what it was. Yeah, it's been real. I love all of you. I'm tired. I know everybody else is tired. So we're going to end the chat tonight. Make sure you make it to my 3 p.m. Sunday afternoon chat and see what we can come up to talk about then. Before I go to bed, Gladys. They're missing one color in the rainbow. Yep, Susan, that's right. They're missing something in there. Well, y'all have a good night. Love each and every one of you. Tell everybody you know to please like, share, subscribe to my videos, and come into my chats. Have a good time with us. I think they'll be glad they did. And I'm going to end the video. Love chatting with y'all. I've had so much fun tonight. It's been real. Love y'all. Bye.